Hello you guys, I wanted to do this video because I wanted to do a year-end review for my audience to give them the perspective on how I felt about this year of 2025. You guys got your own opinions, but I wanted to share mine. 2025 has been the biggest year of our lives and the YouTube channel and the internet as well. And we're gonna go each, and I'll be explaining about every month of every year. Starting off in January, we had a pretty fun time. In January, we had the first cooking video I have on my photos. Had some good friends. We also did some pretty good Pokemon stuff that year, and also showing some progress on my athletics. And I've lost a good amount of fat in the last few years. It was really happy for me, especially because I felt more free now. In February, we had the new Dual City, and then I got some more memory for my computer so it can stop like crashing every time. Yeah. Anyways, March was a pretty fun month because I had pre-UIL, more Pokemon events, and then I also had some fun moments in my history class, and I also got introduced to dual credit in that month. And then I also did my first blood drive, which was pretty fun. And then I also went to my first dodgeball game that month, and that was a pretty fun time I had. And I saw my friends, my old good football friends. And then April, we had the whole Minecraft vibe going on. We got the greenhouse that was being built in my grandparents' backyard. That was fun. April 2nd to 4th was the UIL season, and pretty proud of the choirs, by the way. We all got sweepstakes on those 4 choirs, which I was really happy to hear about. I took a funny picture in Pokemon with that, and it was a really funny one. And then I also did a workout video to prove, and then I also that month got a Galaxy Light simulator, which was really fun to use. And I also got my first physical in a good bit. May was a pretty good month because that month I hit about 600 subscribers, and then that month I went to Egypt and Tomball, Texas, and that was a fun time for my mother's birthday. Went to get coffee for my first time alone, and then I did my second cooking video, and then I also broke records on Pizza Tower and everything because I was probably the first person to actually lap 5 on a school laptop, which was a really cool thing to do. And then June was one of the biggest months of that whole year. On the first week of June, I went to my siblings' graduation, and it was and I even sang at her graduation, which was a huge honor of doing because it was my sibling. And then hanged out with family for a good bit. June 6th, I went to my first choir camp, and I had really a lot of fun in that camp. I recommend for people that are in choir, definitely go to choir camps if you want to audition. They're definitely fun, and you do not want to miss them because they're such an enjoyable time. June 11th, I came across something on the way home, but it was not really that important. But anyways, I also went to Moody Gardens that month where I uploaded my first actual good vlog video of Moody Gardens. And I had a fun time editing that video. I got another one edited behind the scenes that I'm trying to finish up currently. And then Juneteenth, we went for a fun family day. That was fun. The 25th, before I headed up to Kerrville for a few days, I cleaned up my room a good bit. And this is not what it looks like now, but anyways. I also went to Fredericksburg. We had a good time there. I went to Centerpoint, Bandera, Kerrville, Hunt, Texas, Ingram, Texas. It was a really fun time exploring all the stuff there. Absolutely had a blast with my family. And then July was definitely the hardest month of the year to get through. I mean, it started off pretty fine, in my opinion, because I also went on my first driving practice. I also went to Bandera again for the art museum. I went up to the hill for the cross. I cleaned up some weeds in my aunt's backyard.
Trigger warning, this video is about Toze about the terrible events of the July 4th floods, so for Pia Pluho still have emotional trauma from this, skip to 522.
The 5th was the hardest day of my life because this day I could not head home back today. Because I was planning to head home that day, but I really could not because of the tragic floods that happened up in the hill country, which I still have a bit of trauma from that, but it's a bit better than before. I just felt bad for the lives that were lost in the flood. And then that I was separated from my mother for an extra day. We both broke down that I had to stay an extra day. But the next day I headed back, and July 7th I did continue like I said. And then July 8th to the 11th was the funnest time I've had in my life, because I went to my first college for a music camp. I went to Houston Christian University, and that was a really fun time that I've had there. And I really wanted to go to that college now because they have a good teaching and music program, and I do plan to excel in music teaching. So that's really exciting that I finally found my dream and my career. That was fun. And then we also had the schedule for my last football season I've ever had to do. And then August was fun because we hit 700 subscribers that month. That was a fun time we had. And August was also the last scrimmage I had. August, I also went to my first ice cream social for my officer. It was a really fun time. And then I also did try to cook up breakfast for the first time. September, I did my first solo at my school, and I won first place in the competition. And then I did my first pretty good poster, my first audition. That was a fun time. I placed chair 10 in the district choir. That was a fun time I had. October was also a pretty fun month because the first week of October and that second week of October, it was a fun time I had because it was, football and fun stuff. It was also kind of stressful because it was when my mind decided it was time. The 14th, we headed to Galveston for a day, and it was a fun time because we went to Ben and Jerry's on the seawall, we went to Moody Gardens, and then we drove all the way from Galveston to home. And then on the 16th, we had the Dwight Yoakam concert. Probably the most fun I've had in a concert. It was really fun, such an honor of seeing him perform. It was really beautiful, and I did not get home until like 12 a.m. Yeah, anyways. The 25th, I had my second audition at Elkins High School. Oh no, Clemens High School. I got chair 8 for that. And then I also celebrated my good friend Matthew's birthday, and that was a very fun time. I uploaded on Insta. It was a really fun time. And then the 30th was my second to last game because I did the Chavis game. And then the 31st, I did my second blood drive, and it actually felt better than the first one, actually, since I'm getting used to needles again. Okay, before we get into November. November was the biggest year of my life, to be honest. Biggest month of my year, to be honest. Because first off, we started on the 1st of November. We were playing Pokemon, and I was with a friend of mine, and he traded another person that was in the group with me, and he got a Lashunda Rayquaza, which I honestly found really badass. I like. And then the 5th, I had my first homecoming parade, and that was a really fun time. The 6th, I had my last football game of the season, where it was anything but a backpack day, so I just brought a bucket. Very creative. But yeah, anyways. The November 7th and 8th, they were the funnest times I've had with choir a lot. Because region was really fun. We had the region practice on the first day. The second day, we had that concert. That concert was so fun. I still have memories of that concert in my head because of how fun it was. And then that night as well was the Hoko dance. And that was definitely the most memorable Hoko dance I've had all night because, well, it's not every day you get to go to a dance and have fun. And I didn't go until 9 because anyways, the 10th was the last picture I have of my football helmet that I used to wear a lot. And then the 13th, I went on my first flight from Texas to Norfolk. Well, actually, I flew from Texas to Baltimore, Maryland, chilled at the airport for a good bit. Then we flew from Baltimore to Norfolk, which was honestly the most interesting experience of my life because I've never felt a plane go so fast in a flight before. And then it was also a really fun time at the airport. And then I also went on Saturday. I've been up the earliest after a good bit. We drove from Norfolk all the way to Alabama, and then we spent the night in Alabama. And then the 16th, we drove from Alabama to Texas, and we didn't get to Texas until 12 12:30 because we had car problems. But we made it back to Texas safely. Seeing all the different states on the way to Texas was a really cool experience in my opinion. I'd say definitely worth my time, even though we didn't get to do something fun in Virginia. I'd say it was definitely a makeup. The 18th of November, I had 3 area auditions, and that was fun, but I was first alternate in there. But I will find out if I get the audition for area on one weekend in January, so this is going to be really exciting to find out. And I'll be heading to Deer Park High School that year, so stay tuned. And then November 22nd, I went for my first drive-through safari, and that was a very fun time I had. And then the 24th, I celebrated my birthday. It was a very fun time because I went up to Kerrville. Definitely the funnest time I've had. And then the 27th, we celebrated Thanksgiving, and then we headed back. That was a fun time. The 28th, we had Thanksgiving and / my birthday, which was a very fun time. Which is also the day I've gotten my TV, which I have right here. Oh, not to mention in November, we hit 1,000 subscribers, which obviously was a blast. And definitely the biggest day of our lives on the channel and the crew. December, I had the Academic Excellence Festival with some good friends of mine. That was a fun time. And then my second to last winter concert, after it was delayed for a week. I say it was honestly worth the delay because I've never felt that emotional leaving a winter concert, and we performed at a church, which was really awesome in my opinion. It was really beautiful, and I had a very fun blast time being there. The 18th, I went to Zoo Lights, and that was probably the most emotional time I've had at Zoo Lights because I left the zoo in the car. I was letting it out. Like, I've never felt that depressed before in my life. And that was also the time I've got a shrine setting up in my room because I'm dedicating this to Connor Lyon, a good friend of mine who passed away about more than a year ago from osteosarcoma, metastatic cancer. And it's been a really strong end of the year. Christmas was a fun time because at Christmas, I've got the music stand right here. I also got the fountain on my desk. And then I've also gotten my bed improvements because I had trouble with planks and sleeping, but it did help a lot better than it was before. In my opinion, 2025 has been a very big year for my life, and I really do appreciate all of the support that y'all have given us throughout the year, because if I want to be honest with y'all, we would have not gone through that this year without you guys. You guys have been the main reason we've gotten through this year, and we really do appreciate all your support and dedication to our channel, and we do look forward to what will happen in 2026 and beyond for the Tenko Army. This is going to be a really exciting opportunity for us, and then as a reward for making it to the end, I have now finally announced what our first cover will be in 2025. It'll be a duet cover between Chillix and I. And the Don't You Forget replies with Vox and Alistair. And we're hoping to release that sometime in the middle of January or even in the beginning of February of 2026. And we also got my first solo cover I had planned. I'm gonna be singing Insane by Black Griffin. Hopefully around like March or February. This is gonna be the busiest of my life because these are the last few months. I am just going to be like a low level because I'm going to be a senior later in 2026. 2026, I guarantee, will be a very good year, and hopefully it will be as good as other years like 2023 and this year. And I really do hope y'all stay tuned for this upcoming updates, and I will see you guys in the year 2026. Love you guys. Peace out.
لبيك إن عطش اللي وانسكب الشباب له الدماء لبيك